Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a mother of 3 kids, a registered nurse and a yoga teacher. This afternoon I'm heading off to work at 1:30 for my evening shift, and I'm here to share with you how to have an early lighter dinner when you work nights. The success of an early lighter dinner is really back engineering your day. In order to get through my morning and have lunch in about 4 to 5 hours, I need to have a nourishing bowl of porridge. I'll have oat porridge one day I'll have amaranth porridge, another day I'll have millet porridge, which are more the seeds than the grains. And alternate days between the porridges, I love to have stewed fruit, chia pudding, and also I always add some activated nuts because my body really needs a lot of good healthy fats. This morning I'm here to share with you how I'm going to get my earlier lighter dinner in while I'm at work. Today's lunch menu was khichdi. Unfortunately, I was a bit bummed when I saw that, and I thought, oh, I forgot to soak the mung bean and rice overnight. So here I have, since 6 a.m, I started soaking my rice. Yesterday I had already soaked some mung beans and lentils and sunflower seeds. So I'm just going to borrow from my sprout contraption for today's meal. Pop that over here. At 7 a.m. this morning, I really had a low appetite. I ended up having my fire starter just to get the digestive fire going because I don't want to be at work this evening with a sluggish digestion. Now, when I come home from teaching yoga this morning, I have an hour to pack up and get ready for work. I need to be prepared to put my meal together for the rest of the day. I've got my rice soaking on the stove. I've got spices ready to go. So all it takes, the water's ready to go. As soon as I get home, I'll be sauteing the spices in the ghee, then mixing the rice and the mung beans, and then just adding the water. And while that boils away, I'm going to prepare a little something to eat before I go to work. And then I will add these veggies about 15 minutes after the khichdi is boiling. Thanks to my daughter Sophie, who's 9, she chopped the carrots and celery for me this morning because I was busy getting ready. My earlier lighter dinner to be packed for work will be ready to go. The key also is to organise how you're going to take your earlier lighter dinner. So thanks to Mrs. Bento, I'm going to set up now my bento box. I also put together my digestive tea, which I'm going to sip at on the way to teach my yoga class and sip on the way home. Otherwise, I'll get very dehydrated. I've got this great travel mug that's got a lock, so I can pop it in my yoga bag and I know it's not going to leak. Here, Mrs. Bento. In this top little compartment, I can place my fermented veg, maybe a couple of crackers, maybe even some chia pudding. That will stay cold. The bottom couple of layers is where it will stay warm. Now my work breaks today are going to be, the first break is going to be at 2:30, and then the dinner break is somewhere between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Now my patients might need attention between 5 and 6, so I can't be guaranteed of eating until after 6 p.m. I don't like eating after 6 p.m. for reasons which I will tell you later. I am going to plan on eating my earlier lighter dinner in my first break. Yep, you got it, 2:30 p.m. You might be thinking, well, that's just crazy, but I will explain to you how I'm going to manage that. So before I head off to teach my yoga class, I visualize the food that's going into these containers. So once again, that's all streamlined for when I'm ready to come back. I'll see you then. Hi, I'm back and I'm getting ready to go for work at the hospital. I arrived home from teaching yoga, came straight into the kitchen, rinsed the rice and beans, melted the ghee and sauteed my spices. It's been about 4 hours since breakfast. I don't want to eat too much because I want to have my earlier lighter dinner at my first break at 2:30 p.m. I also don't want to not eat now because I have got an appetite. And if I don't eat, my digestive fire will go out. I want to keep my digestive fire stoked. I've got some chicken bone broth. I'm going to drink half of this now, enjoy some sauteed Asian greens, and the rest of the broth I'm going to take to have in my second break just to nourish me and get me through to the end of the shift to 9:30 p.m. I've also added a little bit of chicken bone broth here to my front pan, which I'm going to now saute my Asian green. I've chopped my bok choy. When I came home, I also put together an Asian salad dressing made with toasted sesame oil, soy sauce. I've got a little bit of ginger to add here. I might also just add a touch of maple syrup to that, just to give it a sweet flavour. It's got lemon juice in it to give it a sour flavour. Just a touch of maple syrup. Good. Perfect. So let's saute the greens. And I'm going to serve my lunch. I'm going to add some lettuce. I have really ensured with breakfast and now with a lunch that I am really feeding my body regularly throughout the day, so I can eat some smaller meals. I'm going to squash my lettuce in here. I've got some for lunch. Once I've got the bok choy added in there, I'm going to actually put half of this salad dressing into my handy dandy salad dressing container, so that at work I can really feel like I'm spoiling myself, giving myself those little added extras to garnish my salad. And that reminds me, why not take some of those sunflower sprouts out of my sprout container and add it to my salad. To be an effective caregiver, I need to look after myself first. Now this container is going to be in the warm proportion of the storage kit. The two bottom containers stay warm. So that will just wilt my lettuce a little bit as well, which is perfect for me because I like a warm salad. The rest of this can go on my lunch, which I'm going to serve just before I'm ready to head to my shift. And add the salad dressing. My sunflower sprouts are going well, they've been soaked. I'm just going to garnish the salad with the sprouts. Let's get the kitchery and let's get the earlier lighter dinner packed before it's time to go. I've still got my green smoothie left over from breakfast. If I wanted to, I could also take this for work and have some chicken broth and green smoothie at my second dinner break, just to keep myself nourished and with energy for the rest of the shift. Let's pop the kitchery into this little pot. It might look little, but it actually fits quite a lot in here. I'm going to garnish this serve of kitchery with some cilantro and a squeeze of lemon. And I'm going to put in some extra ghee to keep myself really warm and nourished. I'm just going to sit that ghee on top. Place the lid on. That's going to stay warm, ready for my earlier lighter dinner in my first break. Place the salad and Asian greens on top. And now for my last container. I think I'll probably have this for dessert in my earlier lighter dinner. Chia pudding and cacao nibs. Just to give myself some love. Bitter and sweet. I also like to crunch. So I'm just going to pop a few crackers in here so that whilst most of my diet is soft, liquidy and nourishing, I can still have a little bit of crunch just to treat myself. Pop that in, pop the lid on, and we're ready to go. Let me get my lunch bag out. Pop Mrs. Bento. Pop spring digestive tea. If you're interested in what's in there, slice some ginger, put some black pepper, clove, star anise and cinnamon in there, and that's a really great way to keep me hydrated and keep my digestion fired up. Let's just pop the chicken broth in a thermos to take to work so I can add that to my bag. For night duty, you might like to, going into nights, you might like to have your earlier lighter dinner around 5 o'clock, and then before you start night duty at 9:30, you might like to drink some warm chicken broth. I would recommend keeping it super light and easily digestible overnight Preferably sticking to liquids, maybe some green smoothie, and continuing to have chicken broth through the night. When you get home from work in the morning, try not to eat. Try and have just a warm spiced milk, warmed milk with, say, crushed cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg. That'll nourish you. You could add some ghee into that to give you some fat, and that'll help give you a good night's sleep. The reason why you want to eat an earlier lighter dinner, working in the afternoon and going to bed, you don't want to have a stomach full of food. We digest on the vertical plane. As soon as we're horizontal, lying in bed, digestion slows down. Digestion's prolonged, and the liver then has to work hard to digest the food sitting in the stomach rather than detoxifying the body. We want the liver to detoxify undigested food, but also undigested thoughts and emotions. As I pack for my shift, I'm visualizing how I'm going to nourish myself when I get home from work. So as soon as I come in, I'm going to take myself off to the shower, have a warm oil massage, and then I'm going to gently connect with my family, meditate, and take myself off to bed. Earlier lighter dinner is key for me to be a vital caregiver, a registered nurse, a mum. I'm so pleased to be here sharing these tips with you.